Frontline Focus, the podcast where we bring you inside RevForce, sharing our insights, stories, and real-life experiences of the team members who are out there making an impact every day. I'm your host, Chantel, aka TechDiva, and today we're chatting with Seth. He's one of our RevForce operators, and we're going to hear a little bit about his journey, his role, and how he contributes to this amazing community. Let's dive in. Seth, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, it's great to be here, Chantel. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're really pumped to have you. It's been a while. We've been trying to get you on here for a bit, so I'm excited that you're here.
Hey, we made it.
So, yeah, absolutely. So I want to dive in a little bit. I want to kind of go into what brought you to this area of expertise. Tell us, is this something that you've always wanted to do?
No. If you'd asked me 10 years ago if this is what I'd be doing today, I would have said, no way. I started out very blue collar. But the drive to move away from blue collar was the desire to have my occupation be geographically independent. Wanted to be anywhere in the world and be able to earn an income for my family. And obviously you can't do that if you're blue collar. If you're in the trades, that's just not going to work. So that led me down a path of, hey, what else can I do? And I'd always liked technology. So I just started adding to my skills, and here we are.
Yeah, you know what I would say, speaking to a profession that you can do from home, especially when you do have a family, and you have quite a big family, you got some boys at home, right? So yes. You definitely want to be there, be that dad, be invested in them. So what a great opportunity it is to have you in this area of expertise and being able to be at home with those kiddos. Could you share a recent challenge that you tackled specifically with our team and how it helped?
Oh, sure. So I love solving the quote unquote unsolvable problem. And when I say unsolvable, it's not really unsolvable. It's just that the answer is not readily apparent. So I had a client that came to me a little while ago, and he wanted to be able to display appointments from their Go High Level account on a map. And Go High Level currently does not have any native mapping functionalities. So
darn.
I know, right? One day I'm sure they will. But until then, we have a solution for this. So I built a solution from scratch, custom to this particular client's needs, where he wanted a map with multiple different layers. He wanted color coding. And we populated this map with the data that he wants. And so now in real time, his sales representatives can look at a map and say, okay, they can be on a phone with the customer. You can say, I have an appointment in your area on Wednesday. Just by looking at the map, they don't have to scroll through a list and try to decipher what day they're going to be in that customer's area or how far they're going to be from that customer. They can type in the customer's address, populate a PIN, and look at the next nearest appointment. So it just really increased the efficiency for this company's sales department.
Yeah, and that is just so amazing, Seth. I remember you working on this specifically with the team when we were all together, and just watching your brain maneuver through, how can I make this happen for this client? What pieces of the puzzle do I have to gather to bring this all together? If no one's got to see you in your work mode, it is a sight to behold for sure. And kind of just going off of that a little bit, what is your favorite part about working with RevForce?
Oh, definitely the people. What attracted me to RevForce is definitely the culture, the leadership provided by Mike and Jasmine Gorski, and just the organization that they've built. It's world-class in so many different ways. And I'm just very proud to be a part of that.
Yeah, the community has always been something that's always drawn. A lot of people don't realize this, but me and you were actually in a community before we got to be in RevForce community. And that is highly addictive, right? Having these leaders and these mentors that you can feed off of and grow with and jump back and forth, brainstorming, problem solving. Like, there's nothing that compares to that. Even in the workforce, if you're a 9-to-5 job, right? Like, nothing compares to that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it just speaks to the concept of social capital, the culture of being willing and ready to invest in people in metaphysical ways,
Yes.
whether it's just giving a compliment or saying, hey, you're really good at this, or the win-win attitude of saying, okay, how can we figure out how to do this in a way that benefits all parties involved? There's so many of those soft skills related items that you just can't put a compensation or a price tag on, but it's how you feel when you leave that interaction.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. Speaking to a little bit more about who you are and what you like to do, what is something outside of work that you really enjoy and you're passionate about?
Oh man, there's not much at this stage of life. There's not much outside of work other than family.
Yeah.
So I've got 4 boys, 8 and under, and
Yeah.
so anytime I'm not working, it has something to do with them. And
Yeah.
they're, a crazy rowdy bunch, and they like doing stuff with daddy. And they're great helpers too. So if there's a task around the house that needs to be done, they're at the age now where they're really good at helping with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just wait until they're actually coming to you being like, hey, Dad, do you want me to help with the project? Can I jump on one with you?
They're getting really close to that.
Yep. I know my 13-year-old son, he's always just like, Mom, I could design something like that for you. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you just pass along
Go
some
for
work,
it.
let him kind of figure it out. For sure. That's awesome. Well, you spoke a little bit about this with what you decided to do as a career and this passion that you've pursued so far, that you wanted something that was going to allow you to work from anywhere. So if you could work from anywhere, where would you choose?
That's a great question. And my wife and I have talked extensively about traveling internationally, traveling across the country. Um, and so I don't think the answer to that is any specific location. The answer to that is I work from where I want to, when I want to. So if
Yeah,
that
where it
means,
leads you.
it's January right now and I'm in Michigan and it's cold out and there's some snow on the ground. And I'm from Michigan. I love the snow, but there's not enough snow. Like my
Yeah.
boys spent all fall long chanting 6 feet of snow, which we don't have. It almost all melted recently. And so
Yeah.
if we're gonna have just a little bit of snow, let's just go south. Let's go to Arizona or New Mexico or Colorado or something and get a little bit more sunshine. And then when we get 6 feet of snow, we'll come back and we'll play in it.
Yeah. So whatever the future holds, you just want to kind of maneuver through each season, right? Where you're gonna go.
Yep,
Can I make it?
absolutely.
Can summertime be somewhere cool? Let's maybe hit somewhere else for winter. Maybe be a
And
snowbird, right?
so much of this answer has to do with our kids at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
the ability to be mobile, and we homeschool our kids. So the ability to just work from anywhere opens up a whole host of educational opportunities.
Oh,
We could
absolutely.
go over to the East Coast and we could do a Civil War battlefield tour. And I can work from there just as I can from Michigan. Or we
Yeah.
could take them to the mountains of the West and, they could see all of God's beautiful creation out there.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to provide those opportunities for our kids. And when I think about my childhood, and if one of my friends had told me, hey, we traveled um, extensively from ages, 8 to 15, the
Yeah.
thought in my head would be their parents were rich.
Yeah.
But with today's technology and remote work,
Mhm.
we can provide our children an experience that only the wealthy were able to provide even just a generation ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't even get me started. That's a whole nother section that we can cover here on Frontline Focus. Just homeschooling, kids' future education, what education can look like because we're so used to a different education for sure.
Yep.
Wrapping this up, how do you think you want to make an impact with our clients or with our community, with RevForce for the future?
Sure. So my specialty inside of the RevForce team is integrations. And so I want to be able to make integrations in the Go High Level ecosystem scalable. There's a ton of techie smart people in the world. There's a ton of techie smart people in the Go High Level ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few that can take that tech and make it scalable beyond them. If I came to them with, as an agency owner and said, hey, I am in a specific vertical, I have 1,000 sub accounts. They're all in the home services sector. And I have 5 different outside external systems that I need to connect my sub accounts to for their tech stack to work properly, and I need it delivered in the next 30 days. Can you do it? There's no one out there in the entire industry that can do that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to be able to create a system that can deliver that type of result.
Yeah, and I know that you've just become such an important role, an important asset to our RevForce community. Your dedication, your just your personality, the way you hold yourself, it just lights up a room. Everybody's excited when Seth walks through the door. So we're just so happy to have you. And I'm gonna just wrap it up. This is the episode of Frontline Focus with Seth. We're so happy that you joined us and you got to explore a little bit more of his passion, his purpose in driving RevForce forward. Remember, here at RevForce, your milestone is our mission. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the front lines next time.